Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to share a folder with specific users without a password in Windows 11. Method 1. This method is simple, works on all editions of Windows 11, and lets you choose exactly which users are allowed to access your shared folder on the network. I'll guide you through everything you need to do, from creating the folder, setting up matching user accounts, and adjusting permissions, to testing the connection so it opens instantly with no password prompt. Before we start, there's one important thing you need to understand, because this method can be confusing if you're not familiar with how Windows networking works. If you want to share a folder with specific users but you don't want them to see any password prompt when connecting, Windows still needs to verify who they are in the background. Even though it looks like the shared folder is password-free, Windows never actually skips authentication. Instead, it uses the username and password from the computer that will access the shared folder silently, without showing any login window. Now let's move to the computer that will access the shared folder, the client computer. For this method to work properly without showing any password prompt, the host computer must have the same username and the same password as the client computer. When both PCs use identical account credentials, Windows can authenticate automatically in the background, so the user won't see any login request at all. If the usernames or passwords don't match, Windows won't be able to authenticate silently. The connection may fail, or Windows may show a password prompt. So before you continue, make sure both computers have the exact same username and password that exist on the client machine. Switch back to the host computer, the computer that will share the folder. Before we set up the shared folder, we need to create a user account on this host computer that matches the exact username and password from the client computer. This is what allows Windows to authenticate automatically without showing any password prompt. After creating the matching user, we'll create the folder, configure its sharing permissions, and assign access specifically to that user account. Alright, let's get started. First, let's create the matching user account on the host computer. Click Start, type Settings, and press Enter to open it. In the Settings window, look at the menu on the left side and click Accounts. On the right side, select Other Users. On the Other Users page, click Add Account. A Microsoft sign-in window will appear. But since we're creating a local account that matches the client computer, click I don't have this person's sign-in information. On the next screen, select Add a user without a Microsoft account. Now you'll see the local account creation form. Enter the exact same username and the exact same password used on the client computer. This part is critical. Both must match perfectly so Windows can authenticate automatically in the background without showing any password prompt. Next, Windows will ask you to set up 3 security questions for the new local account. These questions do not need to match anything from the client computer. They are only used for password recovery on this host computer. Pick any questions you like, fill in the answers, and just make sure you remember them in case you ever need to reset the password. After completing all the fields, click Next to finish creating the account. Now that the matching user account has been created on the host computer, the next step is to prepare the shared folder. First, open File Explorer. Navigate to the location where you want the shared folder to live. In File Explorer, click the New button at the top, and then select Folder. Type a name for the folder, and press Enter. Then, right-click the folder you just created, and select Properties. In the Properties window, switch to the Sharing tab, then click Advanced Sharing. In the Advanced Sharing window, check the box that says Share this folder. Right below it, you'll see the Share Name field. This is the name that other computers will see when they access the folder over the network. You can leave the default name, or change it to something simple and easy to recognize. Under that, you'll see Limit the number of simultaneous users. For most home or small office setups, you can leave this at the default value. But if you want to restrict how many devices can open the shared folder at the same time, you can set a lower number here. Then, click the Permissions button. In the Permissions window, you'll see a list of accounts under Group or User Names. First, select Everyone. Then click Remove. We don't want the folder to be accessible by all users, only by the specific matching account from the client computer. Next, click Add to include the user you created earlier. In the Select Users or Groups window, look for the field labeled Enter the object names to select. type the exact username of the matching account you created, then, click Check Names. If Windows recognizes the account, the username will become underlined, confirming that it's valid and available on this computer. Once the username is verified, click OK to add it to the permissions list. Now that the user has been added to the group or usernames list, go ahead and select that username. Then, in the permissions section, check the boxes for change and read. This gives the user full access, allowing them to open, edit, create, and delete files inside the shared folder. After setting the permissions, click Apply, and then click OK to save the changes. Back in the Advanced Sharing window, click the Caching button. This will open the Offline Settings window. Here, Windows lets you decide whether other computers can make the shared folder available offline. For a simple local network share like this, offline access isn't necessary. Just leave the default option selected. No files or programs from the shared folder are available offline. Once you've confirmed the setting, click OK to close the Offline Settings window. Now you're back in the Advanced Sharing window again. Here, simply click Apply, and then click OK to save all the sharing settings and close the window. Back in the Shared Files Properties window, switch to the Security tab. On the Security tab, click the Edit button to change permissions. In the Permissions for Shared Files window that appears, click Add to include the user account you created earlier. In the Select Users or Groups window, type the exact username of the account you created earlier, then click Check Names. If Windows finds the account, the name will become underlined. Once it's verified, click OK to add the user. Back in the Permissions for Shared Files window, select the username in the group or usernames list. Then, in the Permissions section below, check the boxes for Modify, Read Execute, List Folder Contents, Read, and Write. These permissions together give the user full access to the folder, allowing them to open, edit, create, and delete files. After setting the permissions, click Apply, and then click OK to save the changes and close the window. Back in the Shared Files Properties window, all settings are now complete. Go ahead and click Close to finish. Now the folder sharing setup is complete, but before the other computer can actually access this shared folder without any login prompt, the client computer must know how to find this computer on the network, and for that, you'll need either the IP address, or the computer name of the host computer. These act like the address of the computer on the local network. When the client computer connects, it uses one of these identifiers to locate the shared folder instantly. So before moving on to accessing the shared folder from another computer, let's first get the IP address or the computer name of this computer. To find the IP address of this computer, go to Settings. On the left side of the Settings window, click Network Internet. If the computer is connected using Wi-Fi, click Wi-Fi, then click the name of the network you're currently connected to. This will expand the connection details. If the computer is using Ethernet, click Ethernet, and then click the network you're connected to so the details expand. Once the connection details are open, look through the information until you find the section labeled IPv4 address. This number is the computer's local IP address on the network. To get the computer name, while still in the Settings window, on the left side, click Home, then, on the right side, at the very top of the window under the Home heading, you'll see the device name. This is the computer's name that other devices can use to access the shared folder. Now that you have both pieces of information, the IP address and the computer name, you're ready to access the shared folder from another computer. So let's move to the other computer, the one that will connect to the shared folder. Make sure this computer is on the same local network as the host computer. Open File Explorer. In the address bar at the top of File Explorer, type the network path that points to the computer sharing the folder. You can do this in two different ways. The first option is to use the IP address of the host computer. In the address bar, type 2 backslashes, followed by the IP address and then press Enter. If everything is set up correctly and the usernames and passwords match, it should open right away without asking for any login details. The second option is to use the computer name instead of the IP address. In the address bar, type 2 backslashes, followed by the device name and then press Enter. If everything is set up correctly, the shared folder will open right away with no password prompt. And that wraps up method 1 of how to share a folder with specific users without a password in Windows 11. Now you know exactly how to set up matching user accounts, configure sharing and security permissions, and access the folder instantly without any login prompts. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next part or any future tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.